So now I'm going to go back in and talk about um, the NADSP Code of Ethics. I touched on it in a previous podcast, but this is a more in-depth look at it. And when I signed up, they sent me a PDF to my email address, and I want to share some of the information more in its specifics with you. So the first thing we're going to look at in this code of ethics for DSPs is person-centered supports. As a DSP, my first allegiance is to the person I support. See that connection there. All other activities and functions I perform flow from this allegiance. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will commit to person-centered supports as my best practice. Focus first on the person and understand that my role in direct supports will require flexibility, creativity, and full commitment. Recognize that each person is capable of directing their own life. Honor, there we are again, honor those who cannot speak by seeking other ways of understanding them. Recognize that the unique culture, social network, circumstances, personality, preferences, needs, and gifts of each person, their gifts. Everybody has gifts. I support must be the primary guides for the selection, the structure, and the use of supports for that person. Advocate with the person I support and others when the demands of the system override the needs of those I support, and when individual preferences, needs, or gifts are neglected for any, I stress that, any reason. The second code of the DSP Code of Ethics is promoting physical and emotional well-being. As a DSP, I will commit to promote the emotional, physical, and personal well-being of the people I support. I will encourage growth and recognize the autonomy of those receiving support while being attentive and energetic and reducing the risk of harm. I'm going to emphasize that again, risk of harm. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will develop a respectful relationship with the people I support, respectful, that is based on mutual trust. That is very paramount, and maintains professional boundaries. Boundaries are very, very important. But trust is everything. Respect is everything. Honor is everything. Understand and respect the values of the people I support and facilitate their expression of choices related to those values. Assist people I support to prevent illness and avoid unnecessary risk, and understand their options and possible consequences that relate to their physical health, to their safety, and emotional well-being. Partner with each person and their support network to identify areas of risk and create safeguards and specific to these concerns. Challenge other support team members such as doctors, nurses, therapists, co-workers, and family members to recognize and support the rights of people to make informed decisions, even when these decisions involve personal risk. Be vigilant in identifying and reporting any situation in which the people I support are at risk of abuse, neglect, exploitation, or harm. I take this very seriously. Next, address challenging behaviors proactively and respectfully. If adverse or intervention techniques are included in any approved support plan, I will work diligently to find alternatives and pursue the elimination of these techniques from the person's plan. This is a continuation of the NADSP Code of Ethics. We left off with promoting physical and emotional well-being, and now we're going to look at integrity and responsibility. As a DSP, I will support the mission and vitality of my profession to assist people in leading self-directed lives and to foster a spirit of partnership with the people I support. other professionals, and the community. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will be aware of my own values and how they influence my professional decisions. I will maintain competency in my profession through learning and ongoing collaboration with others. I will assume responsibility and accountability for my decisions and my actions. I will advance my knowledge and skills through ongoing professional development and lifelong learning. I will seek advice and guidance on ethical issues from others as needed to inform decision making. I will recognize the importance of modeling valued behaviors to my fellow coworkers, people that I support, and the community at large, and I will practice responsible work habits. The next section, or the next principle of ethics, is confidentiality. As a DSP, I will safeguard and respect the confidentiality and privacy of the people I support. This is very, 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 very important. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will seek information directly from those I support regarding their wishes and how, when, and with whom privileged information should be shared. Yes. Recognize the confidentiality agreements are subject to federal and state laws and regulations, as well as agency policies. Recognize that it may be necessary to disclose confidential information in order to prevent serious or imminent harm to the person I support or others. They are the priority. The persons that you service are number one. Seek out qualified guidance to help clarify situations where the correct course of action is unclear to me. And the third one that we're going to speak of on today is justice, fairness, and equity. As a DSP, I will affirm the human rights as well as the civil rights and responsibilities of the people I support. I will promote and practice justice, fairness, and equity for the people I support and the community as a whole. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will assist the people I support to access opportunities and resources in the community that are available to everyone. I will facilitate the expression and understanding of rights and responsibilities with the people I support. Understand the guardianship or other legal representation of the people I support. This is something I really need to work on, and it's not my strong suit. And work in partnership with legal representatives to assure that the person's preferences and interests are honored. Do you have a story to tell? Do you want to connect with others? Or maybe you want to build your brand and raise your brand awareness. Words are powerful. Your voice is important. Your voice needs to be heard. Let your voice be heard. Anchor FM is the answer. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. This is part 3 of the NADSP Code of Ethics. We left off with justice, fairness, and equity, and now we're going to look at respect and relationships. Respect. As a DSP, I will respect the human dignity and uniqueness of the people I support. I will recognize each person I support as valuable and promote their value within communities. This is yet again important. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will seek to understand the people I support today in the context of their personal history, their social and family networks, and their hopes and dreams for the future. And they have them, like everybody else. Recognize and respect the cultural context, such as gender, disability, religion, sexual orientation, ethnicity, socioeconomic class of the person and supported, and his or her own personal social network. Honor the choices, preferences, abilities, and opinions of the people I support. Protect the privacy of the people I support. Interact. I can't stress this enough. Interact with the people I support in a manner that is respectful to them. Provide opportunities for the people I support to be viewed and treated with respect and embraced as integral, contributing members of their communities, which they are. Promote the use of language that is respectful, sensitive, and contemporary. Practice positive intention and transparency in my interactions. The last one for this particular segment is relationships. As a DSP, I will assist the people I support to develop and maintain relationships. This is something that we're doing now. Different mandates have been set in place. And yes, okay. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will advocate with the people I support when they do not have opportunities to build and maintain relationships. So what I'm teaching the group of individuals I have in my room is how to be a friend, how to be a good friend, and how to keep friends, and how to understand a lot of times social norms for them, reading emotions and faces and facial expressions and body expressions, how people carry on and whatnot. They may have some type of, it's a challenge. I don't want to say they do not understand, because I don't truly believe that, because they operate, and I've talked about this before, on a different level. And it's actually a level that I will openly say I operate on as well, and it's feeling. They exceed people, others on that level. Vibes. I don't know. Different people have different terms for it. They are plugged in on that one. They can read a room, meaning if they walk into a room, they can feel the vibe, the emotions. Everything has frequencies, and they feel it, and they feel it at the highest, and nothing has to be said. They feel it. I know that for a fact, and I know that others who are attuned to that as well. I work with a few people who are, and they also agree with that. Recognize the importance of maintaining reciprocal relationships and proactively facilitate relationships between the people I support, their family and friends. Assure that people have the opportunity to make informed choices in safely expressing their sexuality. This goes along with also the mandates that I'm talking about in the program that I work in. Okay, separate my personal beliefs and expectations regarding relationships, including sexual relationships, from those of the people I support. If I am unable to separate my own beliefs and preferences in a given situation, I will remove myself from the situation and seek the assistance of a qualified coworker. The last one is refrain from expressing negative views, harsh judgments, and stereotyping of people. And I know we are all imperfect, and we tend to do that at times. But you do have to be aware, because, as always, do things with the utmost of respect and honor. All right, and this is part 4 of NADSP 9 Code of Ethics. We stopped off with relationships. So the last part is self-determination and advocacy. We're going to start with self-determination. As a DSP, I will assist the people I support to direct the course of their own lives. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will support the rights of individuals to lead self-directed lives, working in partnership with other members of the person's support network. Promote self-determination in physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual pursuits. Honor a person's right to assume risk in an informed manner. Recognize that each individual has potential for lifelong learning and growth. Celebrate. This one is really close to my heart. Celebrate, accept, and learn from life's rich experiences with people through triumphs and failures. Celebrate them. This is something that I've made a very conscious effort on doing, um, because I've never quite understood why we've always tried to get them to conform to certain things, meaning in lately what I've been doing is finding people who are from the population who may have Down syndrome, they might be on the spectrum for autism, CP, or whatever. And there are so many people out there who are doing great things. They even have like this beauty pageant that they have that I never even heard of, and it's called Miss Amazing. And they have females who of various ages who have different disabilities, but showcase many talents. They are so talented. They excel like above and beyond in so many arenas. More so the arts. They're like, it's like mind blowing what they can do. Why isn't that more mainstream? Why are they not being featured more? People who have their own businesses and they are special needs. They have Down syndrome. Oh my God, it's. I've been working in this field for I don't know how long, and I am still learning and seeing things that I didn't even know because it's not in the mainstream. Celebrate who they are, what they are. I think that's so important. You're making it seem like they're abnormal or they're this and they're that, but they're beautiful in their own way. Everyone is. And it shouldn't come down to who's disabled and who's not anyway, right? Okay. The last one is advocacy. As a DSP, I will advocate with the people I support for justice, inclusion, and full community participation. Furthermore, as a DSP, I will support people to speak for themselves in all matters and offer my assistance when needed. And they'll let you know if they don't want your assistance. Even if they're nonverbal, they will let you know. They will let you know, okay? Represent the best interests of people who cannot speak for themselves by partnering with the individual and their support team to gather information and find alternate means of expression. To me, once you spend time with them and they spend time with you, it's a two-way street. You're going to learn how they communicate. Now, it may take some people longer to read them. I'm going to give an example. I'm not going to use his real name. I'm going to say his name is Timmy. Okay, Timmy. And Timmy has words, just regular words. Let me see, can I think of something? Okay, bus. For him, bus means home. And he'll say it at a certain time of day, meaning that he's recognizing that it's getting closer to time to go home. But instead of saying home, he says bus. He used the term dog to mean something bad. Something bad has happened. He has discomfort, and he'll say dog. Now, it took me a while to figure these things out. He'll whistle or make a sound, a silly sound. That means he needs help. Sometimes he'll say, come. That's what he's been saying recently. That also is an alternate to he needs help. Usually operating something that's electronic, and he has vision problems and he can't see clearly of how to operate it. He's very proud and he will try on his own, but when he realizes that he can't do it, he will say those things, or he'll do little gestures or sounds. Because I would like to feel that there's a level of trust, he's finally doing that. Before, he wouldn't do that at all. And I respect that. Another thing that he does, he uses certain terms, and I'm learning them. And I think the other day he was doing some things, and I was kind of, responding in kind. And I said, wow, you trained me good. And he burst out laughing. They are aware. It just kind of gets on my nerves when people say, oh, they don't know what's going on. They're not aware. Oh, yes, they are. They're more aware than most people. I'll just let you know that. Advocate for laws, regulations, policies, and procedures that promote justice and inclusion for all people with disabilities. Promote human, legal, and civil rights for all people and help those I encounter to understand these rights. Seek additional advocacy services when those that I cannot provide are not sufficient. Seek out qualified guidance when I am unsure of the appropriate course of action in my advocacy efforts. And last but not least, recognize that those who victimize people with disabilities must be held accountable. I'm going to read that one more time. Recognize that those who victimize people with disabilities must be held accountable because they are considered to be highly at risk. But in reality, all of us can be at risk.